Live from Barcelona, Spain, it's theCUBE, covering Cisco Live 2018. Brought to you by Cisco, Veeam, and theCUBE's ecosystem partners.
Welcome back to theCUBE, I'm Stu Miniman. Happy to have here on the program, Linxdatacenter, which is a service provider. Heiko Koop is the CEO. Andrey Zakharov handles the product, a lot of the technology direction. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for introduction.
All right, Heiko, let's start with you. Just Linxdatacenter, for our audience that's not familiar, tell us a little bit about the company, where you are, how many locations, how many customers, general makeup of the company.
Yeah. Thanks, Stu. Linxdatacenter is a company which has data centers. We are located in 3 locations. In St. Petersburg, where we are having the largest data center in the city. We are in Moscow, and we are in Warsaw. And we are serving about 200 customers. About 40% is Russian companies, and about 60% is international companies with decision making in Russia. We have also cloud platforms. We started 5 years ago with the Cisco FlexPod solution. And this year we decided to upgrade our Moscow cloud platform to the HyperFlex solution.
Okay, great. So Andrey, talk about transformation in 5 years. I want you to explain what's happening in the service provider world. We've seen, companies, especially, I've talked to some service providers 15, 20 years, they've been doing it. Used to be, it was co-location, and then you've got that spectrum to cloud services. Most usually have customers that are along that journey. Talk to us a little bit about where your customers are today and how you, from when building the architecture, have to be more agile and flexible to meet where your customers are looking for.
Yeah. So, number of years ago, like 5 or 6 years, we work on colocation business only, and the demand from customers was mostly connected to placing their own equipment. Before they have put in their own server rooms, and now started to move into commercial data centers. And Linxdatacenter is really high quality in this area. So we offer a very redundant solution with 100% uptime of electricity and cooling. Next years, we have noticed the demand going not just put in your equipment, but rent a piece of equipment or a number of nodes. So it's what we are calling cloud now. Together with Cisco, we launched the first cloud platform in Warsaw data center. It was successful because targeted to Russia and CIS, and for customers it were much easier to manage their infrastructure abroad without visiting the data center site.
You said the first of this type in Russia.
Yeah.
Were there any special considerations you had, or was it just that you were kind of an early adopter?
We're early adopter, and we're one of the first provider in Europe who launched FlexPod. Then the demand growing, so we trained our customers how to use such type of services. And the last 2 years we see that this area really booming, and not we describing what we have, but customer really asking us, what do you have, which type of services, EAS, backup of the service, licenses, and so on and so on. Now we are in real process of digital transformation, from just like a warehouse with guaranteed power to IT company. We have strategy 2020, which implemented in our company, and we going step by step to IT company from the just provider of the square meters. And what does it mean for business? Yeah, for shareholders. It means that per square meter you get more revenue than comparing to renting empty rack and comparing to renting rack with equipment inside and software inside.
Heiko, one of the things I always hear from service providers is margins are tight. For every dollar you can save, usually you need to be passing some of that on to your customers. What stresses and strains are your company feeling, and how do the suppliers that you work with, how are they doing with the service providers like yourself? Are they listening to you? Do they understand your challenges? Are they meeting inside of the kind of the architectures, both from a technical and a financial standpoint that you need to be successful for your business and your customers' needs? Yeah.
No, we really realize that if you're only in the data center business, then you really need to be very good in the service that you provide, which is colo and which is the power and which is the electricity. And actually, this is not a high-class service. This is just making sure that you are redundant, that you have a redundant site. And this is not something that you really can differentiate you from your competitors. So actually you're getting into a very competitive market, because who can be the cheapest, who has the deepest, and so on. So we really realize that if we want to be in the market, and in particular in our market, I mean the technology is becoming so advanced that also the CTOs, the decision-making units from our clients, they really need help and support in their IT journey, because we realize, but also our clients, they realize that buying equipment, buying software, and trying to service your own company, this is not how it works anymore. It's really that companies like Cisco, they have the solution and how to get your processes into these solutions. And therefore we would like to be, our 2020 strategy is really that we would like to be the service, we would like to be the specialists servicing our clients, how to get their processes into the new technology. And that works quite well. And that's also one of the reasons why we are participating in Cisco Live. We are exposed to the international technology, to the international, the best technology, and we bring that to our customers into Russia.
Yeah, Andrey, one of the areas that we hear customers talking a lot of in their cloud strategies is availability solutions. Can you bring us inside, what differentiates what Linxdatacenter do, what partners are you leaning on to be able to put together these solutions?
Yeah, our main strategic partners are Cisco Systems, and from last 2 years it's Veeam. And in 2017 appeared new solution from that vendors, joint solution, which is based on Cisco servers, hardware server, Cisco network, and Veeam backup software. And we, as we were building one more platform in Moscow, so we chosen the hyperconvergence and understand the benefits from slight integration between that two vendors.
All right, Heiko, just want to give you the final word. Talk to us about what you see as kind of the opportunity and the challenges in the service provider space.
Our opportunity that we have in Russia is that if people would Google on data center or people would Google on cloud services, then we hope that they realize that our people, they have been handpicked. Our people, they all speak their languages. They will be serviced in their own language. If it is Chinese or if it is English, they will have contracts in a language that they understand, and they will provide. We will provide services that they recognize from the international market. And we have a track record with clients like Microsoft, Western Union, but also Russian companies like Kaspersky. We have a track record of an excellent customer journey.
Heiko Koop, Andrey Zakharov, appreciate the updates on Linxdatacenter. We'll be back with lots more coverage here from Cisco Live, Barcelona 2018. I'm Stu Miniman, you're watching theCUBE.
Yeah.